I hope you're still enjoying our story of James and the giant peach. So when we left James yesterday, he just crawled into the peach and met some rather mysterious insects. So let's find out what happens next. Chapter 12. James decided that this was most certainly not the time to be disagreeable. So he crossed the room to where the centipede was sitting and knelt down beside him. "Thank you so much," the centipede said. "You are very kind." "You have a lot of boots," James murmured. "I have a lot of legs," the centipede answered proudly. "And a lot of feet, 100 to be exact." "There he goes again," cried the earthworm, speaking for the first time. "He simply cannot stop telling lies about his legs. He doesn't have anything like 100 of them. He's only got 42. The trouble is that most people don't bother to count them. They just take his word. And anyway, there's nothing marvellous, you know, centipede, about having a lot of legs." "Poor fellow," the centipede said, whispering into James's ear. "He's blind. He can't see how splendid I look." "In my opinion," the earthworm said, "the really marvellous thing is to have no legs at all and to be able to walk just the same." "You call that walking?" cried the centipede. "You're a slitherer, that's what you are. You just slither along." "I glide," said the earthworm primly. "You are a slimy beast," answered the centipede. "I am not a slimy beast," the earthworm said. "I am a useful and much-loved creature. Ask any gardener you know. As for you—" "I am a pest," the centipede announced, grinning broadly and looking around the room for approval. "He's so proud of that," the ladybird said, smiling at James, "though for the life of me I cannot understand why." "I'm the only pest in the room," cried the centipede, still grinning away. "Unless you count old green grasshopper over there, but he's long past it now. He's too old to be a pest anymore." The old green grasshopper turned his huge black eyes upon the centipede and gave him a withering look. "Young fellow," he said, speaking in a deep, slow, scornful voice, "I have never been a pest in my life. I am a musician." "Hear, hear," said the ladybird. "James," said the centipede. "Your name is James, isn't it?" "Yes." "Well, James, have you ever in your life seen such a marvellous, colossal centipede as me?" "I certainly haven't," James answered. "How on earth did you get to be like that?" "Very peculiar," said the centipede. "Very, very peculiar indeed. Let me tell you what happened. I was messing around in the garden under the old peach tree, and then suddenly a funny little green thing came wriggling past my nose. Bright green it was, and extraordinarily beautiful, and it looked like some kind of stone or crystal." Oh, I know what it was," cried James. "It happened to me too," said the ladybird. "And me," Miss Spider said. "Suddenly there were little green things everywhere. The soil was full of them." "I actually swallowed one," the earthworm declared proudly. "So did I," the ladybird said. "I swallowed 3, the centipede cried. "But who's telling this story anyway? Don't interrupt." "It's too late to tell stories now," the old green grasshopper announced. It's time to go to sleep." "I refuse to sleep in my boots," the centipede cried. "How many more are there to come off, James?" "I think I've done about 20 so far," James told him. "Then that leaves 88 to go," the centipede said. 22, not 80, shrieked the earthworm. "He's lying again." The centipede roared with laughter. "Stop pulling the earthworm's leg," the ladybird said. That sent the centipede into hysterics. "Pulling his leg," he cried, wriggling with glee and pointing at the earthworm. "Which leg am I pulling? You tell me that." James decided he rather liked the centipede. He was obviously a rascal, but what a change it was to hear somebody laughing once in a while. He had never heard Aunt Sponge or Aunt Spiker laugh in all the time he'd been with them. "We really must get some sleep," the old green grasshopper said. "We've got a tough day ahead of us tomorrow, so would you be as kind enough, Miss Spider, to make beds?" Okay, so James is just getting to know the insects, and we don't think they want to eat him anymore like they did at the end, like we thought at the end of yesterday's chapter. So I hope you enjoyed that, and tomorrow come back to see how Miss Spider is going to make beds inside the peach.